Hi and welcome to Eye on South Asia. I'm Sumandeep Kaur.
And I'm Sunil Hali, standing in for Sujit Rajan, who is on a special assignment out of town.
Every week we bring you news, views on and about South Asian community in United States of America. Let's begin with today's top story. India has asked the US to move ahead with an agreement which would exempt the Indian professionals working in America from paying security taxes.
The social security taxes.
That's right, Sunil. Sunil, both the sides, that's India and America, are negotiating on BTA, that's Bilateral Totalization Agreement, which once signed would exempt the professionals working in America from paying the social security taxes because they are not being benefited out of it.
True, and I think, had a meeting recently when the Commerce Minister from India, Mr. Anand Sharma, who was here, and he met the Chief of Staff, Bill Daley.
That's
and
right.
This was the main core of the discussions to sort out this matter, which I think has been sitting there for quite some time.
That's right. Sunil, not only that, this agreement is being signed to mitigate the visa fees hike in H1 and L1 visas last year, which was done to fund the Indo-US, the US-Mexico border.
Correct, and which is not really benefiting the real professionals, which is lots and lots out of the Indian IT industry.
That's right.
And you know, Suman, the Indian IT industry has its backbone essentially in the American economy, and these taxes are really affecting the net income made by the individuals who are working here. And India's the $60 billion Indian IT industry, which gets almost 60% of their business from this market, I think once this matter is resolved, or at least come to an understanding, there'll be a certain gains for Indian professionals in this country.
Certainly, Sunil, I absolutely agree. Since my husband works in a professional field and we pay social security taxes, and when we're paying them, we realize that we're not being benefited out of it, and somewhere this does pinches.
Right, that is true. And this was not the only subject which Mr. Sharma brought up. He also talked about the other opportunities that India is offering today. It's a vibrant economy, and with the focus in agriculture, infrastructure, agro-processing.
That's right.
And with an estimated almost $1 trillion US to be unleashed in the next 5-year plan, which kicks off next year, 2012, Anand Sharma was very clear there are lots of opportunities for the companies which are in US and are looking for opportunities to expand their business in India.
That's right, Sunil, and especially companies like the industries like manufacturing as well as pharmaceuticals and investment and partnership firms. At this point of time, India is a hub for all the foreign investments, and I think it's the right time to invite America for the foreign investments.
And he's very particular that this law should also be passed while looking at the opportunity that India offers. So the professionals who are coming from India to America will benefit, and the companies in America who are looking for business opportunities in India can expand in looking in different directions.
Somewhere, Sunil, this absolutely shows the close ties between both the countries, that's US and India, which have lately we've been seeing that they are strengthening and they're building a good relationship.
Correct. And the next story that Suman comes up is actually Dr. Gautam Gupta. He is now on the FBI list, and they're really looking for him, actually issued the warrants. You know, this Dr. Gautam Gupta has really made a name in the last few years for himself, and unfortunately for not good reasons. He has been promising some weight loss program in the Chicago area.
That's
and
right.
He has almost milked, from some estimates, almost $25 million from the insurance agencies like Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois Medicaid. And you know, Suman, 57-year-old Gupta, who is just an average-looking person wearing a ponytail, you can never make out that this man will have such ideas behind his mind. You know, what he really does is he gets these patients, he doesn't even see them sometimes, and he sends them for some ultrasound test.
That's right.
And for some heart tests, which may have to do nothing with this weight loss program which he kind of offers them. Nobody knows what really you benefit out of it. And if you have the insurance, of course. And if you don't have the insurance, then he will not send it to you.
That's true.
Send you to them. And you know, when the FBI put some undercovers, they were posing as patients, and they found out there was no way for a physician or assistant to determine if this patient had a condition or symptoms, because they never came for the tests.
That's right. And Sunil, he even claimed from the insurance about the consultation and the face-to-face interaction with the patients, while this never happened between the patient as well as the doctors. And also at this point of time, the FBI also has a complaint that he employed nurses who were posing as nurses. They wore scrubs, but they were never nurses, and they were just working in the clinic or the organization where Dr. Gupta operated from.
And there is not really any good record that whatever he administered, did it make really any difference? And I believe he would be giving a weekly supply of appetite suppressant, phentermines, or what they call the diuretic, and asked the patients to come next week because he could still make some money out of them. I think Gupta has his day now, and they're right after him.
That's right.
And by the way, Gupta was not only involved in these kind of medical related frauds, he has been involved in another major fraud whereby
that was the insider trading.
Exactly.
Right.
He was involved in the insider trading, which is with the Georgia Pacific Corporation, when they were being sold to the Koch Industries.
That's
and
right.
one of the board members who was known to him would give him the information, and he smartly went ahead and bought a $1 million worth of stocks. And within no time, when the real trade took place, he made almost $700,000. But
right.
bad for him, he was picked up, and he had to pay the money back plus the interest and the matching penalties.
So this means he's no stranger to controversies.
Absolutely not. But this time it looks like he has had his day. And they have put out a number, 312-421-6700 to call. And
if anyone has knowledge of Gupta's whereabouts.
And if Gupta is picked up this time, he will be facing 35 years in prison.
Wow.
Honestly, it's not really good for our community when you have on the one side, which we will take up a little bit later, medical professionals who are excelling, Indians who are excelling, Indian stories are all over excelling, and once in a while you have a bad apple in this basket. It just takes us 3 steps forward and then again 3 steps backward.
Right.
We need to make sure as fellow Indians or even patients or even a society, if we see people like this, we should immediately report it and not allow it to grow because it's going to hurt us.
Off late, we've been discussing in the previous episodes, there are a lot of doctors, they have excelled in their fields, in the medical field, and that's how Indians are known in America, that they are doctors sometimes. But we have also seen a lot of cases coming up about the doctors becoming fraudsters as well.
True.
So I think it's you mentioned that 1 or 2 bad apples make the entire basket bad. Moving on, let's move to our next story, Sunil, and it's about the Consulate General of India, New York.
Yeah, now here is another story which is also kind of implicating a very, very respected person in the society, but it has its own side to it.
That's right.
And now we're talking about the Ambassador Prabhu Dayal, who in last 2 years, since he has been the Consul General in New York, which is almost the second capital, the business capital of US, he has been here since 2008, and he has opened the doors of the consulate, made it actually a weekly celebration for all kinds of community events, business events, any kind of festivities.
And we've been a part of it.
And now he has been accused of treating his domestic servant, Santosh Bhardwaj. She comes all of a sudden from nowhere last Monday. I think we were at the consulate the week before, and last Monday we were suddenly facing a situation where she has filed a lawsuit against Ambassador Prabhu Dayal.
That's right.
And Santosh Bhardwaj, I think she's around 45 years old, and from what I know, she has been with the ambassador when he was in India, then he was in Morocco, and then she came here to join him. She has said that she was made to work more than 12 hours against the contract, which is 8 hours a day.
Right.
She says she had to really escape outside with the help of a security guard borrowing some money from him while her passport was kept by the ambassador. And she says that while she was living there, she was kept in a closet.
Right.
It's unbelievable. I don't know. I mean, she said she was not being treated fairly and then paid $300 a month. Month. You're talking about like maybe $2 an hour.
That's right.
So it's something as a big surprise knowing Ambassador Dayal, not by me, by the community, this complaint has taken us all by surprise.
That's right, Sunil, and that's why the Indian American community has expressed support to the Consul General of India, New York, Mr. Prabhu Dayal. A recent meeting held at City Hall where in the top Indian community leaders were in support with Mr. Prabhu Dayal because they couldn't believe all this.
Right, and I happen to be once again attending that because we really have very high views about his credibility, his sincerity, his honesty. And you name them, everybody from the community from the Tri-State was there. You name Mr. Ramesh Patel, chairman of the Tri-State FIA, Bipin Patel, you talk about Dr. Sudhir Parekh, you talk about Nayan Parekh, you talk about Teji Bindra, you talk about Kamal Dandona. I mean, people from all walks of life were there to express their support at this time. Even if anybody has 1%, which hardly can be believed, any grudges, any dissatisfactions over the last 2 years, but was still there. And the common thing that each of them had to say was it looks like a clear case of making a fast buck. And secondly, obviously, look for an opportunity to get a visa to stay here permanently because she's from very poor background.
Right.
And she would probably want to bring her family over here. And you know, Suman, what we have come to know is that she had talked to the ambassador last year in January that she wants to make some extra money by moonlighting, which is, you know, quite common with people in this country especially.
So she wanted to go out of the consulate and work.
Absolutely. And since she has been brought under the laws of the land by the ambassador, he said absolutely not possible. It's not allowed by the US government, it's not allowed by the Indian government who has given you the white passport to come to this country.
That's right.
And she obviously did not like what he said. Now who knows what the reasons were, but then she said okay. And she kind of had an argument with him, I believe, but he held his ground and he said the only option you have is to go back to India. And he filed the papers with the MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, to start her deportation, and that's it. Then she is missing. It's been almost 1.5 years that she's been missing from their home, and suddenly last Monday she appears and with all these complaints.
That's right, Sunil. With this, Mr. Prabhu Dayal has said that the government of India now needs to take a call on whether to go through a trial route or settle the matter with the State Department.
But you know, it's a serious pain. If you really look at it, you know, if you're a high official at a very senior government position, of course you have the backing of the government of India and the community. It causes so much of pain if you're genuinely a sincere person. And the community really felt bad about it because he's generally known to be a sincere person. He never expected something like this, and I thought Ramesh was about to go down and start yelling and screaming on the roadside. Ramesh Patel, who is known for his strength, then he said, we know Prabhu Dayal from inside and outside, and he said, Lady Bhardwaj, you better pack and go back to India. And he said, this is not an insult on the ambassador, this is an assault on the government of India. I think this case will set a huge precedent for the times to come because there may be many people who are looking for an opportunity to pull their employers down, pull the people at the higher level position who are kind of vulnerable. Regardless of how you see it, you have to fight a case.
Right.
And if you win or for whatever reason you prevail, there is a huge settlement. Being a government official is not very easy, and being a sensitive person as Ambassador Dayal is known to be. I think it's going to settle down for future a precedent where people will be 10 times cautious in taking some such steps.
Certainly, Sunil, the Ministry of External Affairs has also intervened, and they are now considering to change the diplomatic policies, whether to give the domestic help to the diplomats or not. Because this is a question, and there have been cases a few years ago as well when maids or the domestic helps have come out and created issues like this.
Correct. So I think we're all looking to see how this mystery unfolds.
Certainly.
And we'll find out.
Well, Sunil, I just want to mention here is that Legal Aid Society, which is representing Bhardwaj, said that Dayal does not have diplomatic immunity since the subject matter of the case is all private.
And I believe Santosh is not available to the media, and she has not been able to even talk to the media.
That's right.
And I saw one of the reports where she had claimed that she was in a closet and they showed the room.
That's right.
Now this is at least 10 by 10 room in a Manhattan, and it has a bed, it has a couch, it has a nice TV, it has a telephone, it has a closet.
It can't be a closet.
It can't be a closet, that is for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess in her desires to make taller claims, she had to put everything into it and even go personally about it.
Well, Sunil, this mystery will be unfolded. For right now, we need to take a short break and we'll be back. Stay tuned.